Imagine a world devoid of vibrant emotions, a life where feelings are muted, almost non-existent. Picture yourself walking through a landscape where the colors are drained, and the vibrancy of life is replaced by a dull, monochromatic existence. This is the reality for individuals living with emotional flatness and non-sensory perception. Their experiences are not defined by the vivid spectrum of emotions that most of us take for granted. Their inner world exists in shades of gray, devoid of the highs and lows that color most human experiences. Imagine the absence of joy that makes your heart race, or the sorrow that brings tears to your eyes. While we may associate emotions with passion, joy, and sorrow, for these individuals, life unfolds on a different plane, one characterized by a distinct lack of emotional intensity. They move through life as if behind a glass wall, observing but not fully engaging. These individuals navigate a world that thrives on emotional exchange, yet their internal landscape remains curiously neutral. In a bustling market, where the air is thick with the energy of human interaction, they remain untouched by the surrounding vibrancy. They observe the world with a detached curiosity, their reactions often perceived as indifferent or apathetic. This detachment is not a choice but a fundamental aspect of their emotional experience. While this emotional detachment might seem unrelatable to many, understanding their experience offers valuable insights into the spectrum of human consciousness. It challenges us to reconsider our assumptions about what it means to feel and to be human. This essay delves into the fascinating world of non-emotional individuals, exploring their unique cognitive processes, challenges, and adaptations. By examining the neural pathways and cognitive functions that underpin their experiences, we can gain a deeper understanding of the human mind. By understanding their experiences, we can cultivate greater empathy and appreciation for the diverse ways in which humans perceive and interact with the world. This journey into the emotional monochrome is not just about recognizing differences, but about celebrating the rich tapestry of human existence in all its forms. Despite their emotional flatness, many individuals find ways to express themselves creatively. Their art may not be driven by the same emotional highs and lows, but it is no less profound or meaningful. Practices like mindfulness and meditation can help these individuals find inner peace and acceptance. By focusing on the present moment, they can connect with their inner selves in a way that transcends traditional emotional experiences. Support groups and communities play a crucial role in helping individuals with emotional flatness feel understood and accepted. Sharing their experiences with others who face similar challenges can provide a sense of belonging and validation. Solitude and introspection are also valuable for these individuals. Engaging in solitary activities like reading or writing allows them to explore their inner worlds without the pressure of external emotional expectations. Physical exercise can be another important outlet. Activities like yoga or running help to maintain physical health and can also have a positive impact on mental well-being, even in the absence of strong emotional responses. Pets can offer a unique source of comfort and companionship. The bond between humans and animals transcends the need for verbal communication and can provide a sense of connection and unconditional love. Finding joy in simple activities is another way for individuals with emotional flatness to enrich their lives. Hobbies like gardening or cooking can provide a sense of accomplishment and satisfaction, even without the emotional highs. Altruism and community service can also be deeply fulfilling. Helping others and contributing to the community can provide a sense of purpose and connection, even in the absence of strong emotional responses. Self-reflection and personal growth are essential for everyone, including those with emotional flatness. Keeping a journal and reflecting on their experiences can help them understand themselves better and navigate their unique emotional landscape. Ultimately, living in emotional monochrome does not mean a life devoid of meaning or beauty. By finding ways to connect with themselves and the world around them, individuals with emotional flatness can lead rich, fulfilling lives. Their journey reminds us that there are many ways to experience and appreciate the world, each as valid and meaningful as the next. Emotional flatness, also known as emotional blunting, describes a state of significantly reduced emotional reactivity. This condition can manifest in various ways, making it challenging for individuals to connect with their own feelings. They may find it difficult to experience joy, sadness, anger, or any other emotion with the intensity that others might. This emotional numbness can be particularly distressing, as it often leads to a sense of disconnection from oneself and the world around them. Individuals experiencing this phenomenon may struggle to identify and express their own emotions. They might feel a pervasive sense of emptiness or a void where emotions should be. This can make social interactions particularly challenging, as they may not respond to emotional cues in the way others expect. Friends and family might notice a lack of enthusiasm or a muted response to events that would typically elicit a strong emotional reaction. They might also have difficulty recognizing and responding to the emotions of others. This can lead to misunderstandings and strained relationships, as their inability to empathize or react appropriately can be misinterpreted as indifference or coldness. The struggle to connect emotionally can create a barrier, making it hard for them to form and maintain close relationships. Non-sensory perception, on the other hand, refers to a diminished or absent experience of sensory information. This phenomenon can be equally disorienting, as it affects how individuals perceive the world around them. Sensory inputs that are typically vivid and engaging may become dull or completely absent, leading to a sense of detachment from one's environment. This can affect any of the five senses: sight, smell, taste, touch, and hearing. For instance, someone might find that their sense of taste has diminished, making food seem bland and unappealing. Others might experience a reduction in their ability to feel physical sensations, leading to a sense of numbness or disconnection from their own body. In some cases, individuals might experience a complete lack of sensation in one or more senses. This can be particularly alarming and can significantly impact daily life. Imagine not being able to hear the sounds of the world around you, or losing the ability to see clearly. These sensory deficits can lead to a profound sense of isolation and confusion. While these two phenomena are distinct, they often intertwine. Emotional flatness can exacerbate the effects of non-sensory perception, and vice versa. When someone is emotionally numb, their sensory experiences may also become muted, creating a feedback loop that deepens their sense of detachment and isolation. The lack of emotional resonance can further dampen sensory experiences, leading to a world that feels distant and muted. This can make everyday activities feel like they are happening in a fog, with colors less vibrant, sounds less clear, and physical sensations less pronounced. The world can seem like a shadow of its former self, lacking the richness and depth that others might take for granted. Similarly, the absence of vivid sensory input can contribute to a sense of emotional detachment from the surrounding environment. When sensory experiences are dulled, it can be harder to feel connected to the world and the people in it. This can lead to a cycle of withdrawal and isolation, as the individual retreats further into themselves, struggling to find meaning and connection in a world that feels increasingly distant and unengaging. The underlying causes of emotional flatness and non-sensory perception are complex and multifaceted. These phenomena are not easily explained by a single factor, but rather by a combination of neurological, psychological, and environmental influences. Understanding these causes requires a deep dive into the intricate workings of the human brain and the various factors that shape our emotional and sensory experiences. Neurologically, these experiences can be linked to differences in brain structure and function. The brain is an incredibly complex organ, with each region playing a specific role in our emotional and sensory processing. Variations in the size, shape, and connectivity of these regions can lead to significant differences in how individuals perceive and respond to the world around them. Regions associated with emotional processing, such as the amygdala and the prefrontal cortex, may exhibit variations in activity levels or connectivity. The amygdala, often referred to as the brain's emotional center, is crucial for processing emotions like fear and pleasure. Meanwhile, the prefrontal cortex is involved in higher-order functions such as decision-making and social behavior. When these regions do not function optimally or fail to communicate effectively with each other, it can result in emotional flatness or a diminished ability to perceive sensory stimuli. Psychologically, early childhood experiences, trauma, and certain mental health conditions can also contribute to emotional and sensory detachment. The human psyche is profoundly shaped by our experiences, particularly those in our formative years. Traumatic events, neglect, or chronic stress during childhood can leave lasting imprints on our emotional and sensory processing capabilities. For instance, individuals who have experienced significant trauma or neglect might develop coping mechanisms that involve emotional numbing as a way to manage overwhelming feelings. This emotional numbing can serve as a protective barrier, shielding the individual from further psychological harm. However, while these coping mechanisms may provide short-term relief, they can also lead to long-term challenges in emotional and sensory perception. Further research is crucial to fully comprehend the interplay of genetic predispositions, environmental factors, and neurological variations that contribute to these unique cognitive profiles. Genetic factors can predispose individuals to certain neurological and psychological conditions, while environmental influences such as upbringing, education, and social interactions can either mitigate or exacerbate these predispositions. By studying these interactions in greater detail, researchers hope to develop more effective interventions and treatments for those affected by emotional flatness and non-sensory perception. Advances in brain imaging techniques, such as functional MRI and PET scans, have provided researchers with unprecedented insights into the brain's inner workings. These technologies allow scientists to observe real-time changes in brain activity and connectivity, offering valuable data on how different regions of the brain interact during emotional and sensory processing. Therapeutic interventions, including counseling and personalized treatment plans, are essential for addressing the complex interplay of factors contributing to emotional and sensory detachment. By tailoring treatments to the unique needs of each individual, mental health professionals can help patients develop healthier coping mechanisms and improve their overall emotional well-being. Community support groups also play a vital role in the healing process. These groups provide a safe space for individuals to share their experiences, offer mutual support, and learn from one another. The sense of belonging and understanding that comes from being part of a supportive community can be incredibly therapeutic and empowering. As research continues to advance, there is hope for new breakthroughs that will further our understanding of emotional and sensory detachment. With ongoing studies and the development of innovative treatments, there is potential for significant improvements in mental health outcomes for those affected by these conditions. The future holds promise for a deeper understanding and more effective management of the complex interplay between neurological and psychological factors.